Light from a few can be a beacon to many. Welcome to Star Wars Hopecast.
Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Hopecast, a Star Wars The Old Republic podcast. I'm Vyrigan.
I'm Scya.
And I'm Lari.
And welcome to the real Episode 8, which is unlike the last episode that I called Episode 8, but was really Episode 7. So for this Episode 8, we have with us our guest, who is the creator, the producer of the Coruscant Courier Service, and that would be Kota. Kota, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So I'm glad you can get a chance to stop by and join us. I know you've been very busy in real life, but it's good to have you to stop in, and we're going to have a great time just chatting up. And of course, we're going to start the way we always start these episodes, with our time in game. And Scya, since you are the one with the big news this week, why don't we start with you?
I'm having a baby! No, not actually.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to be the new division commander for our Star Wars division. In our guild, we have our overall guild leader, and also each of our games has a leader, and I've taken up that spot as our last leader, Colt, stepped down. And we're making some big changes in the guild, and bringing up the topic of where exactly we're going to go with our Imperial department, which has been very slow. Our public side is very, very active, and our imp side is very quiet, and it's been a little unmotivated lately. And I'm trying to decide if we should close it down and stop advertising it, or if we should ramp it up and try and get a lot more people and events going on. So it's a really big, crazy time for me in our guild right now. I've been doing lots of stuff in-game as well. So one of the things I've been doing in-game, Vyrigan's actually hopped along for too, because of the Conquest this week. There's been a million bajillion operations. They've been really, really fun. We've had a lot of reason to go back to the older ones, like Karaga's Palace or TFB, and I'm pretty sure I've done every 55 operation this week twice on two different locked out characters. So we've had a lot of fun doing that. And other than that, between that, I've been decorating our flagship with ideas that our guildmates have given. For example, someone said we should have a med bay. So I made a list of all the decorations, started throwing it in a room, made requests, and people donated the decorations, and it's starting to look really good and really filled out. And the last thing I've been doing, I've been working on it between projects at work, or just when I have a little quiet downtime to myself, is I've been filling up SotorStrongholds.com with some of the newer decorations again. I got a hankering for it because I'd been working on a newer project that was actually made by someone else. It's called SotorData.com. It's trying to fill the gap that was left by Torhead. Torhead shut down. It had a database of items that you could look up, see their stats, see the crafting materials, stuff like that, and it's gone, it's done now. They decided they didn't really feel like continuing on with the site with the way it was going. Tor just wasn't popular enough, or they weren't making enough money, I'm not sure. But the person who made SotorConquest.com decided he wanted to try data mining the content in-game, and he did a really good job of it, but it looked horrible. It looked like Bad the Poodoo. So I was like, hey man, I can make this look pretty. Do you mind? And it's been really fun so far. So the design up there is actually mine if you take a look. And he's been working like day and night to add new features. Every time you visit, there will be a little something new there. And speaking of something that's new there and gone now, Lari, what have you been up to?
I'm new there and gone now? Oh, okay. I have been having fun with rat ghouls. Rat ghouls everywhere. I love it. And my favorite part of rat ghouls is I love getting the plague and refusing to take the thing and infecting people. I like going onto the fleet and just bombing people with rat ghoul plague. I love spreading the plague. It's my favorite thing in the game.
Stay away from Lari.
Does that make me a horrible person? I'm like an awesome party bomb full of green goo. That's what I am.
Just like, that's... oh, man.
Kota. For those of you that didn't know, Kota unfortunately works for me in the roleplay department. So he has to put up with this from his boss all the time. But no, yeah, I didn't get to play rat ghouls as much as I wanted to, but I did get to play it enough to go get infected by the plague, and, you know, give it to people on the fleet and such. There also, my other cool thing that happened was I logged in to get the free crystals that they gave out to subscribers for the Choose Your Own Path thing, and I really like the look of them. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna start incorporating them into my gear. I think, they were fancy. I like the colors of them and everything, so I'm gonna put them in everything. The other thing I've been doing a bit of is PvPing. I haven't been doing it much with the guild, but I have been I've had a lot of stress from my job, and that's like my best de-stress thing is going on SOTOR and killing people. Does that I don't know what that makes me, but that's what I like doing. I'll go into warzones and kill people, and it's fun, and it's a stress reliever. So I've been doing a lot of the PvP too. And then the last thing I want to do today is, especially since one of them is here this week, and my other one, who actually doubles as my boyfriend, is going to be here in a couple of weeks. My assistants are absolutely amazing. They have been helping me bring the roleplay together, new style of roleplay, been revamping it. It is an absolutely amazing thing, and I can't wait, to get to talk about that with them, and I really, really appreciate them.
All right.
I bet you one of them is super attractive.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Actually, both of them.
No, that would be the one that's not here, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. I think
that's her boyfriend.
The one that I'm dating.
One,
yes, not you, Kota. We can't tell him that we're
right.
And okay, so in my in my time in game, actually, Kota, why don't you go first? I'll let our guests have
sure?
it. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead. Why don't you tell them what you've been doing in the game?
It's been short and sweet because I haven't been gaming at all much, but between life and everything and work and school. But what I have been doing is I've been working on. I really like the whole Shadow of Revan storyline, so that helps with the leveling process. But I've been trying to get my Marauder up to 50 or to 60 rather, so that I can PvE Impside. Not because I want to help our little Impside guild issue, but if we have an Impside to our guild, I want to have somebody to PvE with. So I'm getting him up there. I've been working triple overtime on perfecting the our guild's own personal in-game RP system. Shout out to Penumbral for helping get the ball rolling on that. We kind of started. I started by talking with their guild about how they work the in-game system that they use, and we started with a version of that, and then we tweaked it to what we liked, and then we actually kind of revamped everything. And so some of the guildmates have played our version, and now we're working on really, really overhauling it. And I really think that only the assistants and our lovely officer have played it for real so far. We're kind of waiting to unveil it when we've got all the kinks worked out. As far as Rat Ghouls, as most of the people in the guild know, is my favorite event. I do a lot of the management for the forum RPs, and our Epic RP right now, which has a lot of people in it.
It has Rat Ghouls in it.
It has Rat Ghouls all
Lots
over
of
it.
Rat Ghouls.
Yeah, so, Rat Ghouls is my favorite event by far. BioWare, if you're listening, change it up a little bit, but I really do like the Rat Ghoul event. I'm ashamed of how little I got to play it this time around, just with school and how everything worked out. But I did of course hop on and run through it. And this is the second Alderaan one, if I'm not mistaken. That means we've gone full circle, right? So we've done Alderaan, Corellia, Tatooine. Now we're back to Alderaan. I might have gotten the order wrong, but
I think you're right.
So now, yes. So that's pretty much the long and short of it. I really like PvPing. But I haven't been doing as much because the time that I've had on has been very casual, so I've just been leveling. I haven't really had the chance to be competitive while,
All right. Well, it's one of those things. Competitive, well, let's face it. How many of us really are? So beyond that, okay, so as for my week in game, or last couple weeks in game, one of the things I've been working to do ever since Rishi came out, when I heard of the title I had to go get, is the Wolf of Rishi title. It is earned by killing the 3 little Groffets, and they're not little, by the way. One's named Straw, one's named Wood, and one's named Breck. And the funny thing was, straw was actually easier to find than wood. Straw is a single Grofit. What it is there's 3 locations where special mob Grofits will spawn, and there's a 5% chance per Grofit placeholder. Straw has 1 Grofit placeholder. The others have between 3 and 9 Grofit placeholders in their area. If you kill the Grofit, wait 3 minutes and see if it'll spawn up again. There's a better chance because you have the 5% times however many holders. But straw is a 1 Grofit placeholder. So I kept going to that little island to try and get this 1 Grofit to spawn. And one day I was just like, well, I'm just going to go see. Because I'm not going to go kill it. I'm just going to see. Come around the corner and there he is. So I got straw, and then wood took forever. But anyway, the reason I wanted that was for my operative. My operative now has, I can't remember the title he's using, his actual title, but it's like one of the Unseen Assailant or something like that. And then his subtitle is the Wolf of Rishi. I really wanted that for this Chiss operative. As I mentioned, I had a lot of fun with the old operations in the guild. I love the content that was made before the new operations because Rishi and Yavin 4 are so rough on my machine, and I'm usually getting single-digit frame rates. I'm having a lot of trouble with those operations, but I love operations. So with this last Conquest week, we were shooting for Oricon, and it was operations, and I was like, heck yeah. So I really enjoyed doing that again. My favorite, of course, is Terra from Beyond. I just love the look of it. I love the style of it. But I enjoyed SOA, and actually I saw someone had the little SOA re-energizer thingy, the thing that gives you your life back. So I saw this on the GTN for a decent price. Last time I checked, I may end up getting that a little bit.
Did you get the one where you can spin around and do the SOA dance?
No, what is this?
It's, when you're flung up in the air by SOA and you're spinning around and smashing into the walls, you get a little dance that does that. And it goes swirlies around you and you get flung in the air a little bit.
I had to find that. I hope it's on the GTN. I gotta go looking now. But I did pick up, the one things I did pick up was the Carbonite was on sale, half off. And I just kind of like the unique recharge thing, so I got the Carbonite, which is fantastic. It looks great. I love the Carbonite world. I missed the surprise double XP weekend. I thought it was really cool the way that Tate kind of pulled that out. Kind of before the Rackle event, kind of teased that a little bit. Of course, we missed it. Or I missed it, because I was occupied, and I actually haven't been in SWTOR as much lately as I have been before, not because necessarily I'm not enjoying the game, but because there's other things that have caught my interest a little bit. Don't worry, I'm not playing like ESO or anything like that. That's like addictive, but I just play little random games occasionally just to keep things fresh. SWTOR's kind of in a bit of a lull. That's part of the issue with our Imperial side too, a little bit, is that we're just in a lull overall. Again, we're waiting for content. Not that I'm being pessimistic, but BioWare, help me out here. But actually, there's some good news coming, and we're going to get that into our news section, which actually is now. So, besides the fact that we have a new division commander for our SWTOR division, which means there's changes are coming, and I'm very excited for this. They actually gave us some of the information of what's coming in 3.2 and the outfit designer beginning stages.
Oh, that makes me so mad. Let's not talk about that.
Okay, so I'll put it like this. It's not as awesome as I would have hoped. It's not even half of what I would have hoped, but that's okay. It's unique. It's pretty much reproducing something that exists in game now. So, any thoughts on that? Just saying.
Yeah, basically for anyone who's not seen it yet, all you can really do with it is create different costumes, outfits that go over top of your existing gear, and you can save a bunch of them, so it'll be really nice if you just want to switch between your 13 different RP looks without having to put your gear on and off. You still have to have your gear somewhere in your inventory if you don't want to lose it, or in your bank, but do you have to have it in your inventory, or can you do it in your cargo? No, basically what happens is you make a soft copy of it and you put it in your costume slot. But if you ever delete that costume slot, it goes away forever. So if you still keep the item in your inventory, like if it's something rare or expensive, you want to keep it. But if it's just something cheap that you can get 1,000,000 of, you can destroy it, or you don't have to have it in your inventory anymore. Okay, and I'm guessing is it kind of one of those things that if you're a subscriber, you have more costume slots, or? I'm not sure. They're not very expensive to buy, though. You can buy up to 15, I think.
Oh, no, they went up in price big time.
Did they? Oh, no.
Big time. There's a huge price jump on that. I think you get the first one for free, and then after that, it becomes it's exponential. It's kind of like your less insurance. Your tabs, your cargo holding, legacy stronghold tabs.
Oh,
they exponentially get more expensive the more you get. That's kind of where it's going. The nice thing that I did see that I'm happy about is that they did remove the outfit designer's class. If I want to wear heavy armor and I'm use a light armor character, it doesn't matter anymore. At first, it was like, it doesn't matter. You can't put heavy armor in a light armor person on the outfit designer. That has been changed, so that's nice.
Super happy about that. You still have to be careful if it says restricted to trooper or something like that, then you still can't wear it, but they're looking into that too. And I have the credit costs. So for the first one, it's free, like Veer said, and the second one's 20k. 30k, 45k, 70k, 100k, 150k, 225k, 350k, and slot number 10 to 16 are 500k each. So if you want to unlock every single slot, it would cost you 4.49 mil.
Worth it.
Being a role player like I am, I might eventually have to do that because of how many different outfits that I wear for role plays.
But even you, with all your outfits, I feel like 15 is a lot.
Yeah,
And
I don't think I quite
character.
have 15.
And even if, like, I would say that I have, like, 2, but there are variations of those 2, so, like, a lot of those, a lot of anything would just be multiple, not necessarily multiple, but, using the same gear and changing one piece, so I don't know that I would need 15 of them, but it's a cool idea. Definitely a cool idea.
Well, and the nice thing I will say is that, and you could, 5 slots, the same thing with the housing. I looked at what would be considered a relatively good amount for a good price, and 4 slots is actually relatively good. The 5th slot's borderline to me at 70k, but that 100k slot, I don't think I'd need more than 5 tabs.
Yeah,
I don't need more than 5 outfits, really. I don't want to spend 100k on an outfit slot. And now people who are really into it are probably going to be more interested. The one thing I do like is that this is going to allow me to... There are some amazing pieces of blue and green gear that look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
But
I'm
you
so
could never...
psyched for that.
So,
okay, I said I was really mad earlier, but that is one thing I really like.
You lie. You lie.
Well, okay, so I will explain why I'm kind of mad. So I went to, as you guys I think you know, I went to Redwood Shores, to the EA event to talk about Revan with Musco, with a bunch of the other devs, and one of the things I asked about was the outfit designer, because it's like one of the things I was most excited about, and I said, did you look at Guild Wars 2's, because I really like the way Guild Wars 2 outfit designer works. The way it works is the first time you get a piece of gear and you make sure it's bound to you, then that becomes a skin that you can use over and over and over forever. And you can use it on any of your characters, and then you can destroy or sell or RE the item, and you never have to keep it in your bank or your inventory anymore. You can just have it forever in your skin selection. And I was hoping there'd be something like that, some like collection element, some way for me to empty my 3 bays of armor, some reason for me to go back and, I don't know, go into the older flashpoints and try and get some of that gear that I never bothered with because I could never, hold all of it anyway. I was like, so disappointed.
I will say that the other thing I like too, and I really wish they had done that, because it's such an easy system. Like, watching that in action, it's such a good system.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing one thing I do like, I have to admit, this is actually kind of nifty, because I actually my operative has this issue. My operative has 2 Imperial uniforms, and they're different colors. One is the standard black and gray. The other one is a white and gold with purple trim for dress uniform. The one thing they're doing differently I kind of like is the dye system, where, okay, so you pretty much keep a soft copy. You put a soft copy in the slot in your outfit designer. If you apply the dye to the item every slot that uses that item will have that color. But if you apply the die as a stamp to the window when it's in that slot instead of the actual item, you can have the same item in different Outfit Designer tabs with different colors, because each version can be stamped with a different color. The die is still going to be used. It's still going to be wiped out, but it's like I can have that one uniform piece and it has original color and just put in there, and then I stamp each tab with a different color, whichever one I need it to be, instead of having to re-dye the item and then stuck that color. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. So let's say you get a really, really expensive 5 million credit chest piece and you want to try out the different colors. You don't have to buy another chest piece. You just need the extra dies, right?
Bingo. You soft copy the chest pieces into the slots, and you just stamp the die colors onto it. And it only attaches to that tab. So it's really cool. That is a good way for dice to work. Although, again, would I have liked some more functionality? Would I have liked the ability to put a whole different set of gear in there and have it hold it for me? Like, I don't know, my PvP set? Yes.
Oh, no, you're making me angry. Oh, and I still have to have an inventory full of armor. Okay.
And that doesn't solve the inventory problem either. So give me more inventory. Oh, excuse me. That was a great hiccup.
I don't want more inventory. I just want somewhere to
how
keep myself.
frustrated you are.
Oh my gosh, so frustrated. Let's go into some more uplifting news. There's a news story in the developers blog, and I'm just gonna from here forward, I'm just gonna attribute everything to Courtney Woods, who became writer at BioWare. They don't put a title on who it is. It just seems like it's her style, but I don't have a certain for sure.
She was received so well when she put her first ones out, so I can't imagine them having anyone else write if she's available.
I really don't see it happening either, but I can't just assume. But I'm going to. I'm going to assume it's her.
It was Musco.
Is this Regrets?
This is Regrets, which is...
I haven't read it yet. Is it good?
No spoilers. It's a fantastic... it goes more into Theron Shan and his background, and of course, you get to see his interaction with his father. So, talk about awkward, because let's be honest, his father didn't know that he was his son until recently, so it's interesting.
I really liked the little blurb stories they put out just before Shadow of Revan. I thought they were really good and they were really interesting, and I wish they would do more of that regularly. Is that the plan? Do we know?
I would hope so. It seems like these stories are becoming more and more regular. And I'm hoping that they're leading to something, because they're saying this is a big story arc, so I'm hoping that when they're about to release, we might see another something pop up right before they release 3.2. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But you're right.
They encouraged me to go read the Revan book before Shadow Revan came out, and I actually enjoyed it. But I actually that was way in the past in reference to the story arc. So I liked that the little snippets they were giving us were closer to the action we were about to see. I'm a fan of those. They should keep doing that. BioWare, I know you're listening because this is your favorite podcast. So,
Kota.
hear me.
I don't know, after the last episode, we might not be their favorite podcast anymore.
Yeah, Vyrigan was little.
What'd you do?
Did you hear that Utini Cast had their 200th episode?
Yes.
That's cool.
They are rocking and rolling. Good people over there, and a whole gauntlet of podcasts, Torocast, and I hate to try to start even naming them because I don't know them all. I listen to quite a few, though. The Bad Feeling podcast, explicit content, viewer discretion advised.
I love seeing those guys in game, by the way. The Bad Feeling podcast, it makes me giggle every time I see them because they'll have their name and then it has a bad feeling underneath it.
It's funny that they're on. I think it's funny they chose our server to stand. And it's not our. You know what I mean? They happen to be on the same server we're on. I thought it was funny that they chose.
It's our server.
It was because they wanted to be with us. That's what it was. They wanted to be with the ROH podcaster.
I think they may have been around first.
No, we're on point.
So, okay.
I know. I'm being wishful.
And there's a bunch of others. Star Wars Beyond the Stars, all these other... that one's actually kind of cool myself anyway. So I don't want to get in the laundry list because I know I'm going to miss somebody. I apologize if I miss you. because there's a lot, like Healing Slotor.
It means
and
we
more I
don't
keep
love
talking, I'm
you.
getting more. No. I listen to so many podcasts. Heck, even actually, what even prompted me to start my little journey on podcasting was a stint with the Corellian Run Radio that we did. Remember that advertisement?
Yep.
We did a short advertisement with them. And then, Scya, you were on TeenyCast, and we started seeing that it had a positive impact. I was like, let's just do something. Let's have some fun. Anyway,
And just to let you guys know, ROH is starting their own new podcast, where they just talk about other people's podcasts. Tune in bi-yearly, and it's just listing other podcasts.
And that would be on Reddit or SWTOR Network or all these other places. Feel free to go. I'm just going to just name drop until someone calls me and says, "Why did you not name me?" I'm sorry.
If you want to plug, just message us at the email, and we'll give you a plug.
Like an electrical plug? I can do that.
Yes.
Let me find
I don't know. Is there different electrical? I'm
looking
right
for
there.
a plug.
I don't know. Is it the standard plugs in Canada, or are they the weird like European plugs?
Oh my god.
Canada is so foreign to us United States people.
Yeah. Theirs are actually the exact same, just upside down. But we still wouldn't be able to figure it out. We still wouldn't.
Isn't all of Canada like way up in the Antarctic?
All right. Back to.
We'll also be
news of
doing
the
a
day.
third podcast on geography.
Kota, you're fired.
Not again.
But you're gonna be in the geography podcast, so be ready. Okay.
Right.
So the big thing, I guess, in news is the 3.2, and I don't want to go into all the details, but there's some things that I'm really excited about. Now, I will say this. 3.2, I call it AKA, why are all these people complaining? Because if someone brand new comes in after 3.2, and they look at the game, they're like, why do people hate this game so much? It's fantastic!
Yeah, no,
So
we were
easy.
talking about this the other night. I agree. If you come in right now is the prime time, you know? It's one of those things, a lot of the things that people were like, this game's good, except there's no player housing, or there's no this, there's no costume design, there's no conquest, there's no guild flagships, like all this stuff that people really wanted, there's no, ranked PvP or, you know, whatever.
There's still no ranked PvP.
Hang on. Easy there. But I mean, if you come in now, yeah, definitely. Why are all these people complaining?
Well, Veer has some very specific updates that are coming in 3.2 for someone who's starting at level 1. What are those, Veer?
So for level 1, there's actually a lot of nice options. So the biggest thing is going to be your quality of life, basic quality of life. And I'm going to say this. If you cannot subscribe, at the bare minimum, be preferred. A lot of the new quality of life, and let me explain what I'm seeing. I'm looking through all these patch notes, I'm looking through all this information, and all I'm seeing is for subscribers and preferred. For subscribers and preferred. For subscribers and preferred. So preferred is now a really viable way to go. For example, quick travel cooldown is only 6 minutes long. Period. Free, that total. If you're preferred, 6 minutes. Total. Free to play.
That's like one quest.
That's one quest. Free to play is 26 minutes, and if you do the legacy unlocks, it goes to 0. But still, 6 minutes is amazing. Right now, it's 10 minutes for subscribers if you have all the legacy unlocks. So that's huge. The Emergency Fleet Pass for subscribers and preferred is on a 90-minute cooldown, down from 2 hours. The free to play is 180 minutes, which is 3 hours. So again, preferred is getting that little boost. When you first arrive on a planet, every speeder port is open to you automatically. You don't have to go and find each speeder place. And if you walk within range of a quick travel station, because that quick travel ability, if you have never played the game before, quick travel is it's like Hearthstone in World of Warcraft. There you go. But quick travel is nice. You can go to any quick travel point you've visited before. It used to be you have to go up and click it, and boop, it unlocks. Not anymore. You just have to be within range. And odds are, if you fly to the point with your unlocked speeder point, which is already unlocked for every location, so as soon as you get there, you hop on that first one, you can see every speeder point. You fly to the speeder point, the quick travel is usually right next door, and it unlocks just with you being near it. So right there, boop, you're going to get this huge ability to really move around the map. I think one of the things that SWTOR is trying to deal with is the complaint of there's no flying and there's only 110% speed. That's still the max. And that's always been a concern, a little bit of a complaint, because on some planets like Hoth, it's huge, it's boring, it's long, it's tiring.
Alright, listen, Hoth has feelings too, okay?
Yes, and
they're cold-hearted.
They're
and
bad
freaking-
feelings, Kota. We don't talk about Hoth.
I will support you. You housed our rebels way in the future until you didn't.
Until you didn't.
So...
Nope, the only planet I dislike more than Hoth, well, no, I love Hoth because Tauntauns. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
And
anything that has Tauntauns.
If you're free to play and you don't have a Tauntaun, and you're like, hey, all these things sound awesome, but I don't want to spend the $15 a month or whatever it is to subscribe to become preferred. All you gotta do is buy basically one thing from the cartel market. We usually suggest to people to subscribe for a month. It seems to be the best value. And, or you can just spend $5 on some cartel coins and then you become preferred forever.
The nice thing with subscribing for that 1 month, and she's right, is a really good system is, 1, you get everything unlocked. 2, you become preferred automatically. 3, you get an automatic disbursement of cartel coins. I don't know where that came from. And so, you get and you get the experience boost the subscribers get. I, for a long time, thought there's a thing where it says you don't get as much experience being a non-subscriber. And I, for some reason, for a long time, I thought that was they removed experience. That's not the case. I've finally understood. They boosted subscriber experience when they went free to play. And so when you're a preferred or free to play player, and it says you could get more. You're getting after level 20, you get reduced experience. It's the original amount of experience you would have gotten for playing the game in the old days. So it's not like you're getting a detriment. It's just you don't get the boost and you don't get rest XP. So it's still completely playable. It looks like they're really trying to push that preferred status. They want you to buy a little something. They want you to enjoy the game. They want to make it a little more quality of life improved, even for those players.
It's honestly a good thing, though, because being somebody that started as free-to-play, if you hate the game and you're free-to-play, that's why you hate the game, is because you're free-to-play. Because free-to-play is... It's just not even close to, you don't even get to experience the good parts of the game on free-to-play. I mean, granted, you get to experience the game, but it's so much better being preferred or subscriber.
And it does. It really is worth it. Now, that's the beginner stuff. That's if you came in and made a new character right now, this is some of the perks you get. But let me talk about some end-game awesome coming down the chain.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, commendations. Oh, I hate you commendations. Basic comms. It's now, they want to give them to you for everything. Basic comms going up across the board. I can't believe how many comms you're just going to get for doing random crap. Just for Group Finder flashpoints, Group Finder story mode, hard mode, operations, and oh, thank you, God, welcome back. 8-man Group Finder Ops. Why did you leave me so soon? Welcome home. For our guild alone, the 8-man Group Finder Story Ops is going to be a huge boon, especially to the Imperial side, where, to be fair, most of the guild is a Republic-focused guild, and Vestige of Despair is an Imperial alt/Imperial starter guild. It's not as advanced as Remnants of Hope. So the characters on Vestige of Despair aren't as well geared as the ones I play on the Republic side. Vyrigan's well geared, who's on Republic. Kamek, my Imperial operative, he's decent, but he's not good. Well, if I got 8-man Group Finder Ops that we can pull 8 Imperial players between 50 and 60, oh, and by the way, the 55 operations show up in the Group Finder at level 60. Whoop, whoop.
That's awesome.
I'm one of the few people that mains Imperial side in the guild, but I would love this to be able to just do the Group Finder Ops and, be able to just do ops. Just be like, hey, I feel like an op. There's only 3 of us available. Why not? Let's go find people. It'll work.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at also from a guild point of view, it's easier for us to find 8 guildies who are like, hey, there's 8 of us online and we're not necessarily well geared, but that's okay. We're over 55. Let's do a group finder
the boost.
The boost.
The boost it gives is the thing that makes it worth it for me. You don't have to worry about people's gear, which can be really rough when you're just trying to get a random group together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
I like that
Lari knows from experience.
Oh,
like
Lord. I'm face-palming right now.
I like that they're giving comms for everything. The only thing I would change about that is if I could get comms for doing my homework instead, because, it's taking away some I gotta get my comms in. Taking away
homework completed. You've been awarded 5 basic combinations.
Yes, there you go.
BioWare should work on that. I think a lot of MMO players would get a lot better grades in school.
Right.
Prove to us you did your homework. You got an A in science.
There
Look
you
at that.
go.
300 combinations.
No, I am very pleased with the changes they've made, especially recently. I feel like they've jumped. There was a little bit of they were improving. I feel like there was a little bit of a plateau where nothing was really changing, and now we've got some really great stuff coming out, and I really like it. I've always loved the game, and I'll keep subscribing if they keep making me happy, and they have, so.
The other thing that we're looking at is some balancing tweaks that's happening along the way. I will say that they are looking at, and they've already started working on some of the Shadow, Assassin, Sage. That whole world is performing way over expectations. It's too powerful. We got a little bit of a nerf in 3.1.2. And of course, in the process, the low slash on the on the Shadow was an insta forever stun. It was fantastic. You could not get out of it. It had like a 5-second cooldown. It lasted for like 10 seconds. So it was like, it was
be right back. I gotta go log into my Shadow real quick.
That was fixed. It was fixed. It's been fixed.
Ah, never mind.
But it came up that they were kind of talking about that and the Shadows. It's like, the Shadows are really overpowered. You need to bring everyone up to that. And they're like, no. Everyone else is kind of performing where we want them to be. Shadows are just too powerful. We're going to bring them down. And so that happened. It's been a little getting used to. A few things are shortened for that melee. I'm a Shadow, so not being able to use some things at that 30 meter, and I have to go up to that 10 meter, is kind of a pain. Just because I don't feel like I can move as much as I was doing before, so it's getting used to some of those changes.
Earthquake isn't as awesome anymore either.
Yeah. I'm playing you a song on my violin right now.
Oh, I'm so sad. I was OP and now I'm not OP.
Now, one of the things that they did do as well in the 3.1.2 that I liked, and I really kind of focused on, actually did immediately upon hearing about it, is the solo mode flashpoints are repeatable. So the Revan, Force Alliances, and the Shadow Revan flashpoints are repeatable in solo mode. So Octitron, otherwise known as Jesus, my friendly droid, and we had some new adventures. So literally, as soon as I heard it on another podcast, as soon as I heard about it, I went online and I did a solo mode operation just to do it again. The rewards have, of course, been nerfed because it is not intended for you to earn a whole lot that way. But if you really enjoyed the story, if you really enjoyed, just the way that I really enjoyed the story of those flashpoints. I enjoyed them all.
Battle of Rishi was my favorite.
I'm working on giving all of our Oct robots, since we gave them all Octavius, Octitron. Since we gave them all awesome Oct names, I'm totally working on making a theme song for them, which is the Octavian thing I just sang. My droid is Octavian, so I did him first, but...
So your next one is going to be Octopus, right?
Octopus. We would need it would need 8 legs and 8 arms. I don't know how we do that. It would be the Manan droid. Manan.
What was he before? Before he was Octitron, you had Jesus. And then we informed you that we all had...
The Jesus droid.
Yes.
Then we informed you that we all had Oct names, so you made him Octitron, which sounds like a transformer, and it's awesome.
He is. Transfer Joe-Bot. So I'm excited for what 3.2 is going to bring. I'm going to play with Outfit Designer. I really want to see... Now, of course, 3.2, there's a big thing on 3.2 as well, correct? Right? We have...
No, nothing.
No, I don't know what you're talking
boring.
about. It's just, meh.
It is happening 3.2, right? Did I lose my mind? Okay, it is. Okay, so... First, sometimes I'm like, I could have sworn I saw it in my notes. So, of course, the addition of a new story area, a new quest line, it is the beginning, of course, of the story of, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, spoiler alert, the Emperor's hiding place. He is alive. He is regrouping. Revan is an idiot. The Emperor is alive.
I know.
Hey,
Praise the Sith Lord Emperor!
I feel like I was the only one who played the Shadow of Revan storyline and was like, guys, he might be right.
I was actually, I have to admit, and V's probably gonna yell at me for my NPC crushes. I had a thing for Revan. I was like,
I had a thing for him. Who doesn't have a thing?
I was like, he's powerful. I'm like, he could have nothing behind that mask, but it's okay because he's powerful and demanding.
Wow.
Well,
all right.
He's powerful and demanding. So, they gave us just a little hint of what it's going to be, and it is very much, the Sith. It is the Corellia of the Sith side, kind of. It feels like it. It's the former Sith capital. It is a haven. It's going to be a quest storyline. It's going to have some content to it. I'm kind of excited about it. What are y'all's thoughts on this?
Wait, where is it?
Ziost.
Welcome
to Ziost.
I want to go to Ziost.
Where is Ziost in lore for those of us who don't know too much about the Star Wars lore?
Okay, so Ziost is actually in the general vicinity of space as Korriban and Drummond Koss. It is in that general vicinity. And we kind of mentioned a little bit last episode. It is kind of the counterpoint to the Coruscant Corellian relationship. It is the Drummond Koss Ziost relationship. Ziost was a major infrastructure point for the Empire for a very long time. And it is, of course, a logical point to go to for this Emperor who's trying to revive. Now, there's been some stuff in the storyline about a Republic mission that's actually happening on Ziost right now in the story. So now we're looking at a Republic strike team going into Ziost, very similar actually to the Imperial strike team going into Corellia. There is a lot of parallels to draw here, and I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to go out, because when you see Corellia and the way it is in that storyline, there was a disconnect that there should have been the Ziost, should have probably been around there, but it would have been obvious as kind of a mirror. I'm not sure if they're going to take it that direction, but it would be something very interesting to see. So it is, in scale and scope, a large, industrial, heavily, advanced planet. Ziost is not like Tatooine or Hoth. It is... one of those.
I'm excited to see it because I think parts of it might also get like a creepy feel to it, since it was like back in. I like it. I think it's gonna have like a very mystic, slightly creepy feel to it, and I'm kind of excited for that.
I wouldn't mind the Emperor kind of doing something similar to Oricon. You know how the Dreadmasters like talk to you? I wouldn't mind something like that. That was always cool to me. Yeah, it's cool though. I like it's the immersion. I'm all about the immersion.
Well, and keep in mind too that the Emperor is no longer even close to caring about any life at all.
Right.
It is really now going to be destruction of all life.
What's that?
You know what I want? I want this guy to go down, obviously. But I think we need, like, a new Emperor that cares about the Empire.
I vote for Kefis.
Really? Like, I feel like Darth Maul might have the ability here.
He is the lead of the council at the very least.
Right. No, I know, but like he's like a very. I'm trying to find the right character to compare him to, but like definitely a bad guy. But like a bad guy you could kind of get on board with. Like, yeah, I'd kill some children for this guy. Like, that works.
Talking about this emperor, though, he kind of like a quote that I get all the time, like when I became the roleplay officer and stuff. I made a joke about, ha ha ha, I'm so amazing, I have so much power now, because I'd been waiting for like 2 years to be the roleplay officer. And so a bunch of people put like that little scene from the Star Wars movies where the Emperor, where Palpatine's like, I have unlimited power. And that's all I keep thinking about every time I hear the Emperor. I'm like, that's that, yep.
No, but I'm excited. I like it.
It's going to be a lot of fun. How much you want to bet we're going to see Cephas again? I'll bet you the Emperor takes him over. I'll bet you.
Wait, who is? I know the name, but I'm drawing a blank.
Cephas the Undying. If you have done any of the operations from level 50 to 55 through the Dread Palace, you've seen Cephas.
Oh, actually.
He sounds like this.
I actually have not done those. That's why I'm leveling up that Marauder.
Oh my gosh!
So,
But you haven't done Republic or none of the operations.
No, because I'm on pub side. Kota is really just a PvPer. I do operations when they need me, and if I'm geared enough. I haven't done anything really.
All right, so Cephas was seen in a level 50 operation. Which one?
EC.
Thank you. Explosive Conflict is where you meet Cephas.
I've done that one. Who is he?
He's a Trandoshan. He's a Trandoshan. He's a lizard man.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha.
When you go to Terra from Beyond, you see him again. Beefier than he was before. And
I love that adjective, by the way. That's my favorite adjective. Beefy is my favorite adjective.
I love when people describe my trooper character, Lady, as that.
He's a beefy lizard man.
You win style points for today.
Yeah. And then, he shows up in the end of Dread Fortress, too. He's like this reconstructed mishmash clone, though.
Yes.
Is he not in Scum and Villainy?
Is he in Scum? No.
Because I feel like that's where he belongs.
If you go across the bridge and you look up, he's in the stars.
Oh, I've heard about this. I don't like where this is going.
He is the infamous bridge boss.
Yeah.
Just know that. That's what we call him, the bridge boss.
Bridge boss.
Alright, somebody needs to get me in that operation. I'm gonna pretend to fall for the bridge boss thing, and then I'm gonna
don't talk about the bridge boss.
I'm just gonna type in chat that it was that guy, and they're all gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
Actually, now that I think about it, I think Scya was the one that had the most fun when Lari first started doing operations for the first time ever to trick her into every little practical joke that you could think of.
She's just the worst raid leader ever.
She first convinced me that apparently the Millennium Falcon was gonna fly overhead of the bridge, but I needed to look up in the sky to see it and keep walking. No, you have to keep walking because it's when you get to a certain point in the bridge. Just keep going. Don't look down. Keep looking up the sky. The Millennium Falcon's gonna be there, and bam, I'm dead.
Miss it.
See, we can only blame her half for that, because the other half of the blame has to go to you for just doing it.
Then what was the other one in the trenches where Scia's like, you need to go up to this little blast shield and get as close as you can, and it'll trigger a cutscene. And I'm like, my cutscene's not triggering. And she's like, you need to get closer. You're not close enough. And then bam, I got blown to death.
So it's always in good fun when we do that to each other. So I'm excited about. There's a lot in 3.2. It's almost like a GSF level kind of content DLC thing. When you look at
that was not my favorite thing, though.
Yeah, I actually like GSF, and actually this next rotation is GSF heavy. I kind of want to do some more of that. Remember,
we can get a group going.
I like GSF. I'm getting better. I'm not good at it, but I like it. Because people don't have time enough to type in chat, you suck.
There you go. You can be bad and no one can tell you that you're bad.
There's no time. It's not going to happen. So that was our look at 3.2, but that's not actually our Galactic Gossip. Today we decided to do something a little fun for the Galactic Gossip section. With the option to purchase the Star Wars saga again on digital demand through Google Play, Voodoo, several outlets, which how many times can you buy Star Wars? As many times as they send it out. What would you like to see as a possible... What?
I will always buy it.
You're just going to buy Star Wars. Have you already bought your digital high-def version of all 6 movies?
No, I have not, but I probably will. Like, let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
I have them on VHS. Does that count? It's a collector's VHS. It's gold.
That's actually, I know what you're talking about, and we don't have it, but I think my uncle has it. We have the gold, silver, and the gold and silver ones that are DVD, and then we have the Blu-ray one as well.
There you go. I don't even have a VHS player, but I have those.
Well, we're not in the 90s anymore, so that's okay.
Time to buy the digital deluxe HD version. It's only $90.
There you go. I'll tell you what I want.
Hey,
What you really want?
would you really want?
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Now I don't want to say anything. I need to recover.
If you want to play some SWTOR.
Vyrigan.
What?
There are 2 things that I want Star Wars to do now. I want them to... This has been rumored for a while, and it's like in the works already, but I want them to finally make their branch of Disney theme park for Star Wars.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming to me. Let me tell you what's going to happen. I'm in Florida. There is no more room in Hollywood, but guess what? Disney in Florida has huge swaths of land. They purchase
do.
tons
They
of
really
it.
do.
Guess what? There's plenty of room in one little corner to just right next to where the Wild Adventure Kingdom is, whatever it's called, to just stick Star Wars land right there.
Oh, that would
That's
be
fine.
amazing.
The Wizarding World of Star Wars. Oh wait, no, wait. That.
No,
Actually,
it'd be called. It'd be Far, Far Away Land.
There you go.
Oh,
Ooh.
what I really
kidding.
want to do actually is I have been on a feed watching stuff from Star Wars Weekend in Anaheim, like all this weekend, because my ultimate dream, for those of you that didn't know, and in case anybody's listening from the 501st, Lari wants to be a member of the 501st Stormtrooper Squad.
Those guys are cool.
Yes.
You need like $1,000 suit.
I
Good
know,
luck with that.
I know. I really want to though because I already help out at hospitals. I cosplay and stuff like that. So like if I could join the 501st, it would be amazing because I do cosplay at like charity things and stuff as princesses, and I would love 501st.
Okay.
Please make me a member. Anyways, moving on.
And so ROH is now starting a 4th podcast. It is the podcast for the Kickstarter to fund Lari's 501st admission.
But
We're gonna be crowdfunding it.
where I was going with that is I've been watching Star Wars Weekend through their Facebook feed and stuff and the things that they have, and I am so jealous. They need to make it into an entire theme park. It would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I have bad news about that. I'm
Oh,
pretty
no.
sure it's going to Disneyland, not Florida Land.
Is there even space?
Oh, really?
There
I don't
can't be
think there's
space over there.
space.
That's the
They
thing.
take down a lot of things to put up new things all the time. Like, they used to have Alice in Wonderland. It got replaced by Frozen.
They don't have enough room for a full park. I'm still going to claim it down here.
Frozen.
Yeah, no, you know what though?
Oh,
I feel like if anything, they'll do a little bit of both. You know, there'll be a central hub, but both parks are getting something. I mean, if
This
they go
site
through with
says
it.
that the rumor is they're going to revamp Tomorrowland and bring it to Star Wars Land, which makes sense because they already have a Star Wars right
but I
there.
don't.
that's,
I don't see that being the case though, because they just came out with that movie Tomorrowland to do
That's
the
true
theme
too.
park
Yes,
from.
it is.
Yep. They did Tomorrowland the movie, which is coming out soon, which is which is to bring more interest to Tomorrowland the theme park.
Yeah.
So I don't see them doing that. Like, I don't know, especially if they just came out with a movie. But
Well, I mean, we'll definitely have to keep like our eyes and ears open though. I'm excited for anything that they do pull out.
oh, I know.
Well, and so with all that, I actually want to take this opportunity while we have Kota here, though. I don't want to waste this opportunity. For a long time, since we have started this show, which even though this is only episode number 8, we've been doing this for 6 months now? We started in October with our first episode?
Yeah.
So Kota is the man, the myth, the legend. He is the mastermind, creator, producer of the Coruscant Courier Service, the radio drama that you hear on this very podcast. So I'm actually very pleased to have you with us so that I can kind of ask you a couple questions and kind of get your take on things. So,
Yeah.
so you use a lot of the sound bites and sound pieces from the game. How do you how do you end up trying to design, I guess, a soundtrack for an episode?
It's funny because I am going to film school right now, and I am in my 3rd year or so, and I love every bit of it. So my biggest thing is when I am not so great at something, I want to do it more, and I want to get better at it. So my weakest thing probably is sound design, because I don't have a lot of experience with it. I'm excellent behind a camera. I've directed a little bit, and I'm getting much, much more into it now. And my writing was one of the first things that I had kind of really gone through and advanced myself in. But writing can always be improved. I mean, everything can always be improved. So when you came to me and asked me about this, I said, great, because that leaves me with something that I have to write that is purely dialogue. And dialogue can always be improved. That's like almost like, I would say that's probably the hardest part of writing anything. So I was so excited. The other thing is, being that it's a completely audio story, sound design is huge. So, I mean, you can even tell through the course of the episodes what we learned worked, what we learned didn't work, stuff like that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to have access to sound effects, but I wanted to stay true to Star Wars so that you knew what was happening. And beyond all of that, since it's based in SWTOR, and this is a SWTOR podcast, I wanted the sound effects to come from SWTOR itself. So what I do is I write the episodes out, and I actually record them before I even try to getting the sound effects, just to see what needs to happen. And then I go into the game and I turn off all sound except like sound effects, and I go perform actions as my character that need to be recorded. So if you ever see me, most of the time I do it on Coruscant, because it's just like it has such a wide variety of places to go. If you ever see me like jumping off cliffs or shooting at random mobs of enemies, something ridiculous, it's probably because I'm trying to capture the sound. And I record just all as one giant clip, and then I chop it up based on what I need. So anytime you hear a door open in CCS, it's my stronghold. And anytime you hear a gun go off, I tried to get different sound bites for each character's weapon. So I believe the main character's weapon is just a regular blaster pistol, whereas Jero's gun is the shotgun backblast from the smuggler, because he's supposed to be a more aggressive character. Yeah,
right. Not just that. I remember that. That's kind of cool.
There's an episode where we hint at a secret member of the team who hasn't really come back yet. Pepper, and he's supposed to be the mechanic, and he's also supposed to have a speeder backfire outside.
I love Pepper.
And it's funny because nobody even knows who Pepper. Like, you know more about Pepper than anybody because there are scripts that have just not been made yet that you've seen. So, but the speeder backfires. I think it's episode 2, actually.
I think it was.
And what I did for that was just shoot one of the those like electro barrels that are sometimes in the mobs, that when you shoot them they explode.
Yeah. That
was all I did. I shot one of those and it went off, and that was my speeder backfire.
Now, one of the things that I see is that it seems like you have to kind of carry multiple scripts around. Like, for example, we lost a member of our guild, Solomon. Solomon was Schaefer, so you will notice that it went from one episode where corporate's coming to Solomon's in handcuffs, he's on the black market, holy crap. Or Schaefer is on the black market, he's on the black market. What ended up happening, of course, is we lost a performer, Solomon, so the character had to be written out. So with this being all volunteers, and it's just people in our guild who just want to have some fun with us and play around, and people come and go, do you have to have like multiple scripts, different sides you already have planned out?
What's really funny about that specific story arc is what we've had is a couple of, if you listen to the episodes straight through, I think they make sense. I also wrote them, so of course I think they make sense. I think they make sense, but we do kind of do a lot of time jumps, and the inspiration for that is that there is an office-y feel to it, so it's kind of one of those things where, even though there's an overall story arc, every episode kind of ends and begins in a very similar way, so that you can kind of pick up from where you left off. Solomon's character of Schaefer, I was going to have him get arrested for dealing in the black market anyway, just much further down the line. So we did have to kind of jump the gun. I have maybe 3 scripts. 2 of them that we jumped over because of that whole issue where we had to, wrap that up and make it so that he wasn't recording now. So 2 scripts we kind of skipped, and then I added elements that were in them later on. And then I had written out the next episode in the order that we're going right now, and it's still written, and I still kind of want to do it, but we also have one of our members who plays our main character who had to move. Scya, who plays Grant, has to move. He just moved. He doesn't have time or access to the internet stable enough to record with us.
I saw him last night.
Yep, he was back last night.
Great.
But
so we missed off. But we've also lost our friend and co-host from the Guild Wars 2 podcast, Aces, is Jero. So we've had trouble connecting with him because of some real life awesome opportunities that come in his direction.
Right. So what I've done is I've skipped over. I have this episode. If you're caught up, I've split the team a little bit. So we've got the 2 people who aren't always, we're having issues being there, are together, so that if they can't be there, I can skip over that and go over to the 2 characters who are there, and we've also added the 3rd character of Corporate. So this last episode was actually supposed to be dual split, going back and forth, but since I couldn't get the other 2 guys, we didn't, and I've now skipped over the episode I'm currently working on now, which will be next, unless I can get the other guys, to record. Will introduce some new characters so that I always have somebody to work with.
All these wonderful actors and actresses you have, Kota.
Yes. That's the thing is the issue of, for everybody, not just the actors, for me, myself included, time. When can we do this?
Oh, no, that's the way it is with even our show. With the podcast itself, we produce shows as we're able, because we don't do this for money. We do it for fun. We want to put out content in enough time that everyone gets to enjoy content on a semi-regular basis. But life comes first. It's just the way of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy that we have so many guild members who are really on board with the Hopecast, and they really like the idea of the Coruscant Courier Service. They want to help. They want to play along. They can't always be there, but when they are there, they're great contributors to the cause.
The first group, I was so surprised. I mean, I work with non-professional. I've worked with non-professional actors. I've worked with professional actors before, and I am always prepared for the worst, and to be honest, that first cast of people we got really worked together really well. They all owned it. I remember Aces was like really, really intent on really nailing the character, and I was like, man, just go with it. It's okay. He's like, let me do it again. And I did, and we worked on it, and he's great. And Scya owned up to Grant really quickly, and Lari. I mean, with Lari, I think I know Lari the best on the cast, so I kind of wrote Calypse for her once I knew she was going to be in it. So, I made it so that...
Just what are you trying to say, Kota? Because Calypse is kind of snotty here.
I'm not saying anything anymore. But, and then, the character of Tillith is one of my favorites to write, because she is supposed to be super, 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 like, upbeat, passive-aggressive, but her arc is probably one of the most clearest, because she gets knocked off her high horse, and she has to really get down and dirty with the crew and find out what it's like working on this lower level, brought back to her roots. And I really like writing her character because she changes a lot. Whereas the static characters, to me, most of the time the static characters are more fun because they can work with cliches. Like Jero's the tough guy, so I can make him say really ridiculous things because he's the tough guy. And Calypse is the snotty office girl, and she could say snotty office girl things, and that's always fun because I'm never at a loss for words for them. But with someone like Tillith, I was really crafting her arc when I saw it changing, and I just went with it. So she ended up being really fun to write as well. I'm really glad you said that Scya's back, because I want to work with he's the main character, so I want to work with his arc a little bit. Especially in the world of Star Wars, I thought it would be very interesting to have a main character who does not like guns. Because how do you live in the Star Wars world without liking guns?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work, which is the perfect spot to start for a character.
So folks, look forward to some more great content from that. As I said, it's once every other episode, and next episode we're looking up for a possible CCS to come up, and I just enjoy it. I think it's something that makes the show unique. I think it's that in a community, and excuse me, when we designed. When I started getting together with certain people and we started designing this podcast, there's a couple things we wanted. We didn't want to be a news show because we knew we weren't going to be the best at it, but we wanted to be different because there's a lot of content out there for Star Wars: Old Republic because a lot of people really love this game. And so I was excited to have something unique like the Coruscant Courier Service, where it's the old-timey radio drama. I love audio dramas. I really do. It's just a fun adventure, and I that's one of my favorite parts of the show. I love having it, and I'm glad we're just rocking and rolling with it. So with that, we are out of time, and that's going to be it for this episode. If you'd like to join us on the Jungma server, look for our Republic Guild Remnants of Hope or our Imperial Guild Vestiges of Despair. You can find guild information at rementsofhope.com and follow the guild on Twitter at ROH SWOTOR. This and other episodes of our podcast can be found at hopecastgamers.com, and you can now subscribe to the show on iTunes. And, of course, you can always email the show at swotorhopecast@gmail.com. Kota, thank you once again for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed your time with us.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
And with that, I'm Vyrigan.
I'm Scya.
And I'm Lari.
And until next time, may the Force be with you, and remember, use that outfit designer to take time to make your character unique and awesome, so everyone else can copy you. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You have been listening to the Star Wars Hopecast, part of the Remnants of Hope gaming community.